Ladies and gentlemen, the season is saved. Our savior, Tua Tagovailoa, is back. He is back. Our starting quarterback, by all accounts, should be starting this weekend against the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm thrilled. And the reason I'm thrilled is not because I think he's going to save the season, but just because it's so much more fun to watch with our guy out there. Win or lose, the past few weeks I've just been blankly staring at the screen when the game is on, if I'm even looking, with Red Zone on in the background, just like not even a little bit of emotion out of me. Last week, like when the Dolphins got that touchdown, it's like I barely even react. It's not the same. It's not the same without him. And I'm so glad to have him back. He's back, baby. Tua Tagovailoa, he's back. All right. Anyway, Tua Tagovailoa returns. He said himself he's been symptom-free since the beginning. And that's interesting because it's been over a month since we've seen him on the field. So that pretty much confirms the speculation. Pretty much a Dolphins PR move. I don't care what Mike McDaniel said. Other players return in less than a week from concussions all the time. Obviously, unfortunately for Tua, he's kind of the poster boy for concussions. Listen, he said a lot of stuff about it. He even expressed pretty much agitation about it. And I get it. I get it because all of this outrage, I can't stand it. All right, people calling him to retire. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. You morons don't care as much as you claim to care about the human being. You're just copying what other people have already said for the most part. I'm sure there's people out there that care about Tua, but most of it is just rage bait. All right, just trying to get clicks on their fucking ESPN shows and all that shit. Listen, I'm sorry. These NFL players, they sign up knowing what they're getting into, knowing there's a risk at hand, getting paid millions of dollars to be in that 1%. And I'm not talking about a couple million or a few million here. All right, these quarterbacks are making hundreds of fucking millions of dollars. All right, so I want him to be a good dad. I want him to have a good future, but I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him at all. I mean, I want him to do what he wants to, and people are trying to critique him for wanting to be a warrior. Well, that's what a fucking man does. So I'm happy for Tua. I want him to come back. I do not want him to quit on himself or sell himself short. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but that's just what I feel. I think he's capable of making his own decisions. And listen, I get it. It's different for him because of the fencing position. Most people, they get a concussion, they stumble around a little bit, they leave the field. And with Tua, it looks bad. His arms go limp, his fingers do that thing. It's bad. It looks different than normal concussions. All right? But that's just what it is. But let's start talking about football anyway. He's coming back. The Dolphins are 2-4. The season is slipping away, and he's coming back. So, even though it's going to bring some interesting stuff to the table, all right, this is what I've been waiting for. All right. Can he save the Dolphins? And in my personal opinion, right off the rip, I'm going to say no. I think we're falling too far behind the Bills right now. And some tough games coming up. Even this Arizona game. This is not a gimme. All right, Kyler Murray is a dude. All right, he just fucking bullied the 49ers a couple weeks ago. That guy can get you on any day of the week. And there's a ton of questions going on. All right, we've been scoring 10 to 13 points a game since the injury. And even before the injury. All right, going into last year, the end of last season, early this season, the offense has been struggling, even with Tua. Receivers aren't getting open. Tyreek and Waddle, they're getting absolutely blanketed on most plays. Sure, he was missed a couple times on downfield plays, but there hasn't been a ton of opportunities. And does Tua save that? Shit, Maybe he does. Maybe he's got the magic sauce. And in my opinion, this is the final test. A lot of people say it's so clear they can't win without him. And I agree it's looking that way, but let's see for real this time. If Tua comes out there, starts winning games with this team that has been struggling, well, then we have an answer. But still, at the same breath, do you go get a quarterback in the draft next year? I don't know. So many unanswered questions. But either way, hopefully with Tua back, it just gets more interesting. That's the most important thing. Joy brought back into watching football on Sundays. All right, because without Tua, it ain't entertaining. So that's where I'm at with it. A prediction for this Sunday. I'm going to go Dolphins 23, Cardinals 17. That's my opinion. I think we're going to get a win with Tua. I'm going to be happy as hell. All right, we'll talk about it Sunday.